And again, I was very confused in the sense that I didn't know that the Jamaat had a press and media office, what it did, anything like that. But anyway, he said that there's going to be an elder whose name was Malik Khalil Saab. And he's also been appointed. He's going to be the in charge, and you're going to be his staff member. And also, Huzur is sending you to Qadian for 3 months. Actually, it was meant to be for 6 months, but it turned out to be 3 months because of visa. But he said Huzur is going to send you to Qadian, and you're going to get training there, and then you're going to come back. So I went to Qadian in that 2007 period. My wife's grandfather had just passed away. He was from Qadian as well. And so she came with me. She spent time, Mia Wasim Saab, and then so she spent time with her grandmother. And then whilst I was away, Malik Khalil Saab, unfortunately, he was quite elderly. He passed away. And so I returned to London after 3 months. And I started going back to the office where I just started before the trip. And I didn't really know, again, what I was doing, but I just used to spend my days looking through different files and trying to understand what the office did. And then one day I got a letter from, and I think I was 23, 24 probably at the time. And I got the letter saying that, from Tabshir, saying that Hazrat Khalifatul Masih has appointed you as the in charge of this office. And I read that 5, 6, 7 times and thought there's definitely some mistake here. this can't be. And I just put the letter in my drawer, and I just didn't think about it again. I didn't mention it to my home. I didn't tell anybody. I just continued the way I was continuing it, and just thought that there's some mistake here or something. Then about a month later, I think a month had passed, and I was continuing with that routine. I got a call from Private Secretary Saab, ke Huzur's calling you. So you should come and meet him. I think probably he's given me time for the next day. So the next morning I went for mulaqat, and it was all these daftari mulaqats were taking place, and I didn't really know what was happening. Until then, I'd only ever had the experience of a family mulaqat, which used to happen in the evenings. And when it came to my turn, Huzur, I walked into the office, and Huzur, first of all, he said, "Kya lekar aaye ho?" And so he said, what did you bring? Gigi? And I said, Huzur, I didn't bring anything. And I said, Huzur, I got a message that you were calling me, so I came. So then Huzur looked a little bit surprised. I think he'd expected probably that I must have received the letter, I must have made some plans or something, and now I was coming to see him. And so then I still, again, sometimes you remember strange things. I remember seeing Huzur's reaction and thinking, he's thinking about sending me back out then if I've got nothing. But then I think he had mercy on me, that he thought that he's come in for his first mulaqat, and now if I send him out after 10 seconds, people outside are going to be thinking, pata nahi iske saath kya hua hai. So then Huzur, instead, he just paused, and then he started continuing his work, and he just let me sit there for 8-10 minutes, and I was just sitting there in silence. And then at the end, Huzur said, you should make a plan for your office, and these are and then he explained some of the tasks, that these are the first things you should start with, and then come back to me and come and see me regularly, and then get guidance, and this is how the process works. And then he said to me, he said that whenever you have any question, don't ask anybody else. Kisi se nahi aur se nahi poochna, sirf mere se poochna hai, that only ask me. And that was such a beautiful, I mean, it's so gracious, but also it was just so fundamental to my personal training that I had that opportunity. And then for that first 2-3 years, I felt that no matter was too small. I would get an email in the office, and it might just be a routine email, and I would take it to the mulaqat, and I would say, Huzur, I received this email from such and such person. And never once did Huzur say, why are you bringing this to me? You can sort out yourself. He would say, acha ye hai, acha iska jawab ye dena hai. Acha, you respond like this, and literally teaching me how to write these reply emails. And he was like, somebody's holding your hand and taking you step by step by step. Then as a few months passed, the one thing also during that time is that I was a very young person, obviously. Most of the people in the Jamaat offices, especially the senior offices, are people much older than me, people who I'd been seeing since a child. So it was very intimidating for me as an individual to now be dealing with them and to speaking to them. And they were just like, obviously, your elders. But sometimes if there was some issue, and I could sense as well sometimes that they were thinking, where's he coming from? Why is he here? Why is he involved? And so sometimes you'd get that a little bit of resistance, and so sometimes I would mention some comment or some email that I've received about something, and then Huzur would dictate, and he said that this is what you should respond to them. And sometimes the language would be quite firm in the sense that maintaining my position that this is what should happen. And I remember I used to tremble, but because Huzur used to say कि यही लिखना है, लेकिन तुमने अपने तरफ से लिखना है, ये नहीं कहना कि Huzur ने कहा है. Don't say that Huzur has said it. You write it. And at that time, I used to wish that Huzur would say that you write that Hazrat Khalifatul Masih's instructed, so that at least obviously it's much easier. But if I'm saying that you should do this, you should do this, who am I to say it? But again, Huzur was establishing that in the Jamaat, it doesn't matter if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. It's the respect of the office, it's respect of the Jamaat's Nizam. That if Huzur has appointed somebody, then obviously then you follow the Nizam. But then also, over time, that gave me, it taught me as well a lot about how to deal with people. But it's not that Huzur would say that you should give harsh emails or anything like that, but it's just where you need to make a stand for the betterment of the Jamaat. Then you should have the courage to do so.